and welcome to Playtime. I'm your host, AltaGamer2004, and today I have for you 2064 Read-Only Memories. Last time we got Jess to warm up to us, we got the data cache back, and I found a new quest! On top of putting sour spoiled milk on everything and zapping everything, I am now going to try and hit things with a brick. Let's see, we need to go to, the access point. It's now night, so I need to be careful. Good thing I have a brick.
This is the place Tomcat said we should head to.
Turbo.
And quiet. I'll be honest, I don't think I would be in this section of the city without Jess giving us the all clear. The crime statistics are quite alarming, so let us get done with our errand here and move on to safer ground.
Good to see your self-preservation routines working overtime.
I am no coward. I resent the accusation.
Sorry, I didn't mean to call you a coward.
After all, I didn't see you arguing against doing that favor for Jess in the first place. But I don't feel like debating the merits of being prudent with you. Tomcat is waiting for us, and maybe we can wrap this whole investigation up once and for all.
I honestly didn't mean to call him a coward. Use the fan. This fan needs no service. Look at the fan. Gotta keep that generator cool, or else, it'll break. Generator. Use a brick. Nope. Use the super spoiled milk. Pour milk. Well, now it's really smelly generator. Congrats. Don't pour too much out. It might be useful later. Use the headphones. The deep, calm hum of a nice turbo generator. Talk to it. Talk again.
I can imitate some similar appliance turbine sounds for you, if you enjoy it so much.
Yes, please do. Use the generator. Turbo generators are really solidly built, and not easy to get into without smashing them apart. Pipe. Use the pipe. You can't pull it off the generator no matter how hard you try. Look at the pipe. This pipe is doing what all good pipes do. It's piping out that energy. Litter. Pour milk on it. It wouldn't be a bad idea to throw it out, but this plastic bag isn't quite a dumpster. Use my ID on it. Throwing your ID on the ground? Are you sure? Are you working on a story about cyber cracking? Okay. Some sad vibes are being thrown around. Business card. The litter has very few opinions on him. Shame. Talk to it. Gives new meaning to trash talk. I guess pick it up. Even if you wanted to pick that up, it's practically scum welded to the street. Look at it. Standard plastic bag level litter. Pour milk on the art.
Could you not deface the graffiti, please? I mean, I know that's ironic, but still.
Maybe if it was a Pollock-type piece. Listen to it. Trippy doesn't even begin to describe what you're hearing right now. Talk to it. Did it actually just say something to you? Staring into this eye-hand thing is really hypnotic.
Are you feeling alright?
Yeah. Use it. This wall is pretty grimy. Stop touching it. Look at it.
You know, right after we found Hayden's apartment in such disarray, I started looking into graffiti and street art more thoroughly.
Of course you did.
I have never much considered doing any of it myself, but it seems like an interesting avenue to pursue once I move beyond abstract expressionism. The simpler tags, visual shoutings of identity and existence. They exhibit a feeling I can sympathize with, but it's these larger pieces, riots of color and chaos, that really interest me. Petty vandalism is beneath me, but there are other avenues for the practice. For example, did you know that Los Angeles in the mid-2030s legalized the tagging of mural-style street art on any building without requiring permission from the owner or city?
Really?
It
I
was
know that's
chaos
fiction,
of the
but-
highest degree for a while, but now the place is truly remarkable. Perhaps I will visit once this is all done with.
Some street art is pretty nice to look at. That graffiti is actually the symbol of gonzo journalism.
Ah, I hadn't even noticed.
Whatever that means.
Do you have much experience with gonzo journalism yourself? Reporting after or during direct participation?
I have no idea what that even
If
means.
you do end up writing on this experience, whatever you produce would be the very definition of it. You're too close to be objective now, and you're a key subject in this event. It doesn't seem to be your usual style, but you couldn't go another route at this point, and you're in the clear as you didn't instigate the situation. I've never had much interest in the practice, but spending so much time around you has taught me to look at events in a different light, perhaps only because I can verify your personal experiences as fact. Sorry, I'm rambling again, aren't I?
Yep.
And we're on a schedule. I don't even want to think about this. What if we don't find Hayden?
We're gonna find him.
What if we do? My memory processors are shot from the stress of the past day. It's already taken a toll on me. But never mind. Let's find that access node. Let's find Hayden.
Talk to the apartment
Don't
door.
break the Nabots!
The
Did I
Nabots?
say Nabots? I meant neighbors. Sorry, I'm really tired. Besides, this is the wrong door.
Nabots?
Don't! The access node is next door to this building. That's the wrong place. This is the door to an apartment building. It's not the access node.
Look at the door.
This is the door to the access node that Tomcat told us about. We need to use the buzzer to get inside.
Talk to the door.
The guard isn't actually here. You need to press the buzzer on the door to get access.
Parallax Walk, AN-19 security.
Hello?
Yes, can I help you?
We're, friends of Jess.
I was wondering when you'd get there. You're at the access node on Cesar Chavez in Indiana, right?
Yeah.
That's right.
Good. Be quick. Don't touch anything. Got it? This conversation never happened, and you're on your own if you get caught out there. I hope you find what you're looking for.
Thank you.
This is it. Let's go inside, and I'll call Tomcat. This place doesn't look like it's had any maintenance in years.
It's pitch black.
I hope the systems are still functional. Oh, I forgot you can't see in darkness. Maybe that switch over there adjusts the lighting.
Oh, good lord.
Oh, Tomcat is pinging us, forwarding video and audio.
Howdy! Y'all at the access node?
Yep.
I'm set to slice in once turn makes physical access.
Of course, Tomcat. Just walk me through how to connect myself, and I'll give you the necessary system permissions to use me as an interface.
Just patch yourself into the links terminal down there, and I should be able to get started.
Connecting wirelessly to it now. Permissions granted. Please be careful in there.
Don't worry, doll. I'm an old hand at this. You won't notice a thing.
Until the alarm
One
sounds.
sec. Oh, shoot. Y'all have a bit more to do before I can get the info we need.
Like?
This system's still running on old cassettes, and the recall slot is empty. Can't call up Hayden's info file without it.
Okay, where do we get it? Police station?
There should be a cassette on the opposite side of the wall we can overwrite with the recall program. Pretty sure all that one was used for was phone monitoring. You know, from back when phone networks were separate from data networks. I swear, y'all, I just turned 22. Anyways, we need to move that cassette across the room to access the records.
Which means she was born in 2042.
Figure out how to do that and hit me back up when you've done it.
A list of things to check to make sure everything is running okay. Warning label. This sign warns that this area contains voltage. You can't even reach it. Maybe there's some other way to move this thing. A robotic arm used to move data cassettes around the node. Random graphs and diagnostics being tracked. Hanging wires.
Loose wires. Be careful!
Spoiled milk on the wires.
What's going on down there? Something shorted the main breaker and everything switched over to the auxiliary. Try not to wreck the node before you get what you went down there for.
Sorry. Dirty, tangled wires lay on the floor. Where are the standards? Logging into Lynx server Z77 Gamma. Welcome to Lynx. Review maintenance log. I don't have authentic. Abstain. I'm gonna abstain. Operate data transfer arm. Retract arm. Turn arm. Move arm left. Extend arm. Retract arm. Turn arm. Move arm right. Extend arm.
Nice job! I'm gonna put some more pressure on them to move the data now, and we'll see if we can't slurp it right out of this network trunk. You would have thought that someone would have noticed and decommissioned this access node when the neighborhood went to hell, but this mouse is happy to play while the cat is away.
I thought you were the cat. Why is this place usable for us anyway?
Way back when I was a youngin', when I first hacked into Parallax's network, I mostly did it to make a point, yeah? They were just about to launch the MeshNet system, and I wanted to show the whole darned world that their security had more holes in it than Swiss cheese. Of course, I wasn't too shy about poking in a few more holes of my own devising while I was there. After putting in some more tricky software backdoors, I went ahead and deleted this access node off the maintenance schedule.
That's why it's in such
Then I
disarray.
reassigned the guy who was supposed to keep an eye on it to a different location. They were in the process of buying up a whole gaggle of these nodes in preparation to set up a private network for themselves. All just to use for the MeshNet launch. Maybe a little too confident of them. Most of the software holes have been patched out as they've upgraded their network, but this old place is just as forgotten as I left it.
Why would they move the data?
I've been targeting one of their data centers with a botnet-driven DDoS attack, hitting every port into its network that I can find.
Whatever that means.
Ain't likely to do much, but toss in a few attempts to crack the firewall and their VIs are shitting bricks.
Hey, I've got a brick.
It's standard procedure for them to move their sensitive data to a different data center in case the attacker actually gets in. Make enough noise and it'll scare them enough into taking some defensive action, which is where we want them. The files are more vulnerable in transit.
Well, let us know when you're done.
Now you'll just hold tight. I'll be done with this lickety-split. Surveillance camera footage.
What? I don't like that
God.
face.
Oh, Turin.
What?
I'm so sorry.
What?
What is it, Tomcat? What did you find?
He's gone, Turin.
No!
Of course he's gone, Tomcat. That's why we're here.
Shit. I mean, he's gone, Turin.
How?
Hayden is dead.
Well, that obviously isn't right, Tomcat. Why would they kill him? Can you send me the relevant files?
Yeah, I wanna...
You must have missed something.
I don't think you should see it, but if you're sure. Parallax had security cam footage from the hallway outside Hayden's apartment encrypted on their network. Just a short clip. It looks like Hayden started to struggle with a couple of big dudes when they broke through the door and one of them shot him. I also found some chatter about it on some darknet channels. It wasn't a kidnapping. Somebody went there to murder him. I'm so damn sorry.
Oh, God.
Thank you for your assistance in this matter, Tomcat. I think I'll walk back to the apartment. I need some time to run some calculations about this new scenario. If you'll excuse me.
Should you follow them?
Turing will be okay.
If you say so.
Actually, I want to follow
I'm gonna keep
Turing.
digging through this data until they kick me out of the system. I'll try to find some kind of lead on why this whole thing started in the first place. Maybe I can find something out about who killed Hayden and why Parallax has a copy of the footage. It ain't much of a silver lining, but we have the answer on Hayden's fate. Maybe it's time to call it quits.
No.
Anyway, I'll talk to you later.
I want to catch who's responsible. This game does not autosave, so please be sure to save frequently. Chapter 3.
Oh, you're back.
How are you doing?
You know, Hayden was a brilliant programmer, far ahead of his time. I am a machine, and intrinsically, I do not have all the glands and visceral chemical reactions that make humans so emotional and brilliant. But his code is a flawless replication of that, inside my own personality algorithms. I don't think I've ever felt this anger. It fouls my processors and fills my RAM with frustrating, half-finished plans of revenge. My motherboard burns in my casing from how little I can rest. I'm in pain, and I can't make it go away. Ugh.
Don't worry, we'll find him and bring him to justice.
I do not like the thoughts I'm having about the people who did this to him.
Can you turn them off?
I could. I can disable those modules. But if I turn off every emotion I don't want to feel, what does that make me? Would I still be me? If I were human, turning off my emotions would be seen as extremely unhealthy.
You got a good point.
There's a wealth of information on the meshnet about human psychology. I just don't know how much of it applies to myself. Either way, Hayden deserves my grief. It is my way of honoring him. It may be the only way I can. I offer it freely. Did you see the jade plant? It's doing well, despite the hardships it has gone through.
Hey, it's all you're doing.
There is a lesson there. I don't know that I can listen to it right now, but I'll try. Will you keep helping me? I need you. To find the bastards who killed my progenitor. I need to finish this. I don't know what I'll do
Calm
afterwards.
down. No need to swear,
I need
dude.
to see this through.
We'll bring them to justice, Cherry.
Justice. Yes, good. I knew you'd keep me from losing myself in this. Let's make sure they have the appropriate time to atone for their crimes in prison. Even if it takes the rest of their lives. I think for now we should keep knowledge of Hayden's death between you, Tomcat, and I. It may give us an edge if the people we seek don't know how much we've already discovered.
We should let...
We'll talk after you've had some time to rest. You likely need sleep, and I need some time to... I need some time.
I want to talk to my plant.
Good morning. I trust you slept well.
Yeah. Sure, how about you?
I had ample time to recharge my internal batteries.
That's not what I meant.
It is upsetting that Hayden is... gone. But life for the rest of us goes on, yes?
He recovered
We still
quick.
have a mystery to unravel, and I will waste no further processing time over something I cannot reverse. There is no point. Now that we are both refreshed, I feel it wouldn't hurt to recap our progress and determine if any changes should be made based on our successes and failures. Let's talk about how things are... Since your journalistic efforts are a big part of why I originally recruited you, we can start there.
Okay.
Your inquiring mind has been a huge boost in our journey thus far. As a ROM, I can't talk to people as intently as you, so I must say I'm quite grateful for your skills in that regard. You're diligent in your day-to-day work as well, which further grounds my hope in you.
Hey.
Beyond journalistic persistence, let's take a look at how we've performed in other responsibilities, specifically our choices in overcoming obstacles. I must say, our first hurdle was handled masterfully by you, and we avoided any further issue. Great start!
I'm rocking it. I'm killing
Furthermore,
it.
I am pleased with your utilization of non-violent methods. Eliminating any excessive risk should allow us to move swiftly. finally, I was quite impressed by your ability to adapt on the fly, as they say, and perform so well when thrust into a sudden situation. Lastly, I'd like to discuss how we're getting along with our companions and allies along the way. It's important.
I think we're killing it.
I was very impressed with your negotiation abilities with those kids. We got our data cache, and they went on their way, and hopefully learned a lesson. Jess is a bit of a harder read, but she did agree to help us out in a big way. As long as her brash nature doesn't tempt you to lash out, I think things will go smoothly.
Yeah, it's
Rivers
hard
was
holding my
richly
tongue
involved
against
as well,
her.
and I can tell you enjoy having a familiar face around. She could prove to be our greatest aid, as long as we make it worth her time. No funny business. Tomcat seems to genuinely care for our cause, and I have no trouble with letting their expertise guide us. Out of everyone else, they seem to be easiest to get along with, too. And finally, you and I must say, we have worked together better than I ever expected. I hope you feel the same.
Of course.
I feel confident in our combined ability, and I enjoy your company as well. Please, continue showing me around the city as we continue our search. Unfortunately, we've just about run out of leads. Perhaps Tomcat was able to find something of use in Parallax's network while they were inside.
So we're headed to Stardust. You don't have any ideas yourself?
I've rationed every available resource I have. Perhaps you have some bright ideas? You're a big-shot investigative journalist, right?
Hey, I didn't mean that negatively!
You have an incoming call from Tomcat. Forwarding video and audio.
Morning. Turin, how you been doing, hon?
I'm fine, Tomcat. Thank you for your concern.
Well, okay. Just say the word if I can help out in any way. You hear?
Of course. In fact, I was hoping you might have a lead for us to start working at. Otherwise, we're down to canvassing Hayden's address book and seeing if any of his contacts have an idea about who might have had a desire to target him.
See, now that's an idea. Why was me questioning if he had any more ideas a negative thing?
But that's just fishing in the dark.
Well, I pulled a fair amount of data from the Parallax servers before they managed to kick me out, but it'll take me a while to go through it. A lot of it's unrelated. TPS reports, maintenance logs, juicy meat for other corporations, but about as useful as dirt to us. It'll take me a while to decrypt all of Hayden's files, but maybe we'll find something there. So, no, I don't have as much as a whiff of a trail on who's behind this. Though, I recently got a strange request from a friend of a friend.
A friend of a friend.
Someone's been messing with the articles of a news organization named Augmented Eye. It seems like the network security head there is asking around for cybercrackers to help figure out how their reports are getting changed. The original files on their servers are untouched. In their system, everything looks peachy keen. But when you view the site from the outside of the network, things are changed up. A word
How
here,
so?
phrase there. It's subtle, but often has a big impact on the article's tone. Someone with deep access to Parallax's meshnet is changing what's being shown. I ain't sure if it's related, but maybe y'all can head down to the main KCOB offices and try talking to the gal that runs Augmented Eye. Her name is Zin.
Zin.
I ain't got the time or the desire to stick my nose that far out for a stranger, but it seems like your kind of deal.
It does seem to be a bit of a stretch. But if we have to wait for you to work on the data we've collected anyway...
Yeah, it's a good idea. We'd be happy to look into it.
Alright. I'll pass the word along that you'll be in sometime today to stick your noses in. And I'll send y'all word as soon as I get anything worth hunting down.
Excellent. Thank you, Tomcat. We are grateful for your continued assistance.
No problem, Turin. Are you sure you're gonna be okay? Maybe you should take a little more time. You've been through some shit in the past few days.
I said I was fine. Thank you for your concern, but I am fine. I have already handled the reality of Hayden's death. It's time to move on with the investigation.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to step on you. I'm just worried.
As am I.
I'm here if you need anything.
Understood. I apologize for my tone, Tomcat. We'll be in touch.
Alright, later, Turin.
Okay, we have a lead, however tenuous. I've highlighted the COS IO Corp office building on your map.
Great.
Also, while we were talking to Tomcat, I received an email from Dr. Fairlight.
What's he want?
Displaying.
Greetings. I hope you'll forgive me for a voice-only message, but I'm undergoing my treatments and would not call myself presentable for a video call. Still, I wanted to inform you of an idea I had while looking into our mutual acquaintance's disappearance. I haven't had any luck with my contacts inside Parallax, but I was reminded of an old friend by the name of Melody Flores, who may know more about the nature
Melody
of
Flores.
Hayden's research. She's the owner of Flower Cybernetics, and Hayden has been known to work closely with them on projects involving the intersection of Parallax's systems and the implants that Flower designs. Melody and I are no longer on speaking terms, so I'm afraid I can't introduce you.
Gee, thank you.
But
That's a great help.
perhaps the intrigue of Hayden's little robot will get you entry into her home. I hope this lead serves you well. If you need anything else from me, I will be in and out of the hospital room where we met for the next few days. I will send word if I have any other insights or discoveries.
You do that.
Yours, Dr. Yannick Fairlight.
Interesting. I had no knowledge of Hayden ever working with Flower Cybernetics, but now I'm starting to understand just how little I've reached. Maybe this Melody can reveal more about the purposes of my construction.
If that's what you want.
Hayden must have kept my development secret for a reason. Hopefully we can talk our way in. I have highlighted Melody's home on your map.
Great. Can't wait to go.
Okay, we can now either follow Tomcat's lead to KCOB or Fairlight's lead to Melody's home. Up to you where to go first. Tomcat's led us in the right direction so far, but Fairlight has resources and his tip might end up being more relevant. It depends on what you want our focus to be on in terms of tracking Hayden's trail. Should we follow the media or the tech? It's fitting. They're the two factors that make NeoSF so unique and wonderful. If we explore them both to the fullest, there's no way we won't be closer to the answer.
What do you want?
Okay, we can now either...
I don't want to hear
depends
this again.
Up to you where to...
Here, have
It's
this.
not that I don't trust him. or that his words seem deceptive, so it's unclear to me why I feel this way.
Have the milk.
Get that away from me! Ready to head out?
Yeah, let's head out. I think we should check in with... Nope, she's not here. Is she here? Hey, I want another glass of water.
Hello again. Have you come back from... Did you know that I'll soon have sparkling water available? Please do not ask me what I'll be stocking. I'll only contain cool, refreshing water.
I want water. Oh, they graffitied the ROM.
Who is there? I cannot see a thing. I shall make a note to request more street lamps in this park. This is much too dark an area.
I'll chalk doodle of the police ROM that some kids drew. You'd make a lot of kids and probably Turing upset if you ruined it. Okay, definitely Turing too. Talk to it. Despite its current state, the real police ROM is probably still more helpful to speak to than this drawing. It looks like some older kids got their artistic expression out on the poor police ROM. That spray paint isn't coming off, and you'll probably irritate them more if you started prodding. I'm gonna follow Tomcat.
Here we are. The COS.io Corporation office building. It looks like most of the businesses on this block are a part of the same corporate coalition under COS.io.
Is that important?
Well, perhaps. At the very least, it means it's unlikely they're the ones interfering with Augmented Eye's articles.
Okay.
Not impossible, but unlikely.
How so?
Generally, the companies in a coalition don't have a whole lot of overlap. Augmented Eye is a news app focused on local tech and culture stories, with an emphasis on hybrids' rights and cybernetics issues. None of the other companies in the coalition cover news, so they aren't related at all, which is very much standard practice for these groups. They have nothing to gain by inviting companies with whom they compete, and thus none of them would benefit by trying to undermine Augmented Eye's credibility as a news source.
Can you tell me more about these coalitions?
In the early 2020s, the California government was pretty much going bankrupt. A poor
Sounds about
national
right.
economy and repeated voter initiatives meant the state didn't have the tax revenue to continue running municipal services. They kept
sounds like the
pushing
entire
tax
country
burden
right
down
now.
the totem pole until poorer cities were just flat broke. No police, no road work, complete public service collapse. Then, one of the smaller cities sold all of their public infrastructure, police and fire included, to a private corporation. This was eventually challenged in court, but several Silicon Valley corporations started a grassroots initiative to have citizens pass an amendment to the state constitution allowing it. They succeeded, and most of the major cities in the state sold off their public services to private corporations. Some places, like Los Angeles, just sold to the highest bidder. Which is probably why LA is essentially in a constant gang turf war, with one side wearing the uniforms of the studio-owned police forces.
I'm listening.
The cities in the Bay Area were a little more selective, and most of the municipal services are owned by multi-corporation coalitions.
It's nice to get some lore on what's going on in this
They split the bill
world.
of running the city between them and keep each other from being too corrupt in their usage of the police force and such, from fear of a PR disaster and being kicked out of the coalition. It means there isn't as much money going around, which is why the NSFPD's equipment is out of date and the meshnet is so successful over normal cable networks. After all, without the promise of a city infrastructure bought and paid for, the corporations all treat running the city like a charity and PR stunt. But at least the police aren't irredeemably corrupt. The fire trucks still show up on time, and the water runs to all parts of the city. That can't be said for some areas of the state.
I didn't realize things were that bad elsewhere. Why hasn't the federal government stepped in?
I haven't spent enough time learning about the subject, or politics in general, to give you an educated answer. If I go by the posts people make on the meshnet, I'd say a combination of having bigger fish to fry and caving to corporate pressure. People seem certain that the larger multinational companies would love to be able to buy their own towns on a national scale, and are pumping money into Congress to try and make that happen. They hold up Neo-SF as an example of their success, while trying to bury the problems in LA as an anomaly. Combine that with unrest abroad, and I guess they don't have a whole lot of motivation to try and stop it. Historical precedent seems to lend credence to this interpretation, if you're willing to believe my hasty readings on the subject.
Fair enough. Thanks for filling me in.
You're welcome. I am happy to assist.
Look at the planter.
Bulbitis riparia, one of the more popular display ferns in recent times. Expensive, given the cost of caring for it.
Oh,
The
we forgot to
species
talk
is
to my
native
plant.
To threaten tropical forests, but it became a popular import after being endorsed by a former child star turned conservationist.
Before we continue, I gotta go talk to my plant. Looks like you're gonna be just fine after all.
You really pulled it off. I'm impressed.
Listen to it. There's a faint glistening hum. Wilty knows he's pretty. It's still alive, but not sturdy enough to touch. Wilty is sparkling to the heavens. Top grade jade. Okay, I don't gotta talk to it. Plant. Talk to the plant. Hey there, little one. How's it growing? Thanks to a new environmentalist ordinance, tampering with a bioplanter gets a stronger community service sentence than most misdemeanors. Turing doesn't seem to have any data on this species. It must have been crossbred for the most genetic beauty. So let's pour milk on it. This planter is sealed. Try the other plant. But I can't. Pour milk on this plant. Nope, not this one. The other one? Use my ID. What are you trying to do there? Unlock it? Buy it? Give it your number? I can't put on this plant. Touch it. You can't touch it. It's in an enclosed planter. Look at it. The plant sits safely enclosed in its isolated ecosystem. Pour milk on the car! You approach the car with the intent to pour your spoiled milk on the windshield, but the coupe's wipers are already alerted and stand primed at the ready, daring you to try. Talk to the car. The car beeps. You did it. That, or the owner saw you messing with it and locked it from inside. Push the car. Don't try to start a riot. The World Series was months ago. Pour milk on the window. ID the window.
Be careful where you wave that around. You never know who's watching or what's scanning.
Good point. Pour milk on the sign. Listen to the sign. The sign already speaks everything it prints. ID. The sign reads your info and recognizes you have a meeting with Zin, then directs you to the 3rd floor. Talk to it. It's voice controlled. The screen begins to cycle through the business listings and your available options. Touch it. That sign is not yours. The KOSS-IO Corporation office building employs a pretty fancy interactive screen out front. If they can keep it outdoors, the electrical work in it must be on another level. Pour milk on the door. You don't need to pick open an unlocked automatic door. Talk to the door. You prefer to only converse with revolving doors. Open the door.
The meshnet says Augmented Eye's SF office is run by an individual named Zin, and Tomcat confirmed she's expecting us.
Yeah, and on the 3rd floor.
All we have to do now is head up and talk to her. No shenanigans this time.
Shenanigans? Give her the spoiled milk. That wouldn't even be a good enough idea for a terrible hidden camera prank TV show. Zap her. This would be a terrible way to make the news. What's an IK? Give her... The IK-47 unit scans the business card and pulls up a public profile with details on Fairlight and his public assets.
These units are used to dealing with 7-figure contract negotiations, not your overdrafted credit account.
Hey, did Tarek just shit on me?
The IK-47 aren't known for being verbose. Better leave it.
Better leave it. Looks to be in the middle of high-value It looks like a rabbit, almost. IK series ROM. Office and high-level account maintenance. Look. Photograph. Picture of a toupee is an odd thing to frame. Wait, that's an animal of some kind. You pick up the frame to examine it. There's no secret compartment hidden in the back.
You're adventuring in all the wrong places.
Talk to it. It'd be easier to talk to if there were less hair and more distinguishable features. Motivational poster. The poster changed. The kitchen is the heart of your home. Be sure to keep it clean. Seems perfectly happy with the one-sided conversation it's having with the office. You couldn't be bothered to take this, and inspirational as it is, the walls at home are too dangerous to touch. Also, you know, theft. You didn't know people still hung up motivational posters, unironically. Pour milk on the plant. The urge to poison something so beautiful is strong, but you somehow managed to resist temptation. Fairlight isn't where one goes for botanical advice. Talk to it. This plant probably gets sun to in between its hourly spritzes and daily soil massages. Human hands would only sully this little flawless foliage. I can't ever say that without slowing down. Zin must really love her desk plant, and it's been meticulously trimmed and treated. Pour milk on this plant. You doubt the plant would appreciate a meal like that. You reach out and scoot the plant an inch or two to the left. There, perfectly symmetrical now. What harmony. The professional care these plants receive puts your well-intentioned yet misguided overwatering to shame. No, moving it even one more inch would ruin this beautiful symmetry. Everything must be in order. Pour milk. Nah, listen to it.
The smart headphones technology is far too new. The physical audio jack this console requires is only sold separately for 49.9 credits.
Talk to it. That's just an old rumor. You're not actually supposed to blow into the cartridge. Actually, you're not. You can ruin the cartridge. You're supposed to use rubbing alcohol and a Q-tip. Use a business card.
It doesn't fit. Why would that have fit?
I don't know, I'm just doing things. It's not plugged into the monitor and your imagination is only so powerful. Oh yeah, Super Family Link. This plays all of the old hits, like Yonki's Peninsula, Water Rash, Super Slug 3, Revenge of the Super Slug. Business card on the monitor. Fairlight doesn't do tech support. Zin seems like the type of person who would punish someone for fiddling with the settings. Stash of video games. Talk to him. Shoot, voice controls weren't popularized until the next generation of games.
Maybe later if you find something educational. Or an adventure game. Your investigative skills could use a tickle.
Sweet, an unopened duck game.
This game gives me the urge to start quacking uncontrollably. Is something wrong with me?
Yeah, something is wrong with you. Desk, pour milk on the desk. The nasty milk has worn down the bottom of the carton, so much it's hard to balance it upright anymore. It's not made of wood, but you can still knock on it. A swanky looking desk that curves out at the edges. Milk on the window. Yep, the info lines up. That reflection is definitely you. Talk to the window. That's a window, not your bathroom mirror. No time for embarrassing pep talks. It'll get jealous.
Please don't open that. It's chilly.
Zin's window. You can see the Bay Bridge from here. Alright. Headphones on her.
What am I supposed to do with those? Listen to this conversation be... Huh. Nice photo. Welcome to Augmented Eye.
Touch her. No need to shake her hand before you speak. Sharp-dressed woman stares you down. Don't look away.
Oh, hello. Welcome to Augmented Eye. You must be the journalist my network admin said would be showing up. Have a seat. Would you like a drink?
Passy hot would hit the spot.
Ah, good choice. My assistant will bring it right away. Look, I'll start off by saying I'm a little uncomfortable about bringing in another journalist to look into this. Whatever
Another
you
journalist?
dig up, I'll have to explain to the rest of the press. But it's still better than the other options. Chances are I have another corporation scoping out my territory. If they aren't in the coalition, they'll be expecting a corporate spy, not a news hound. If they are in the coalition, it won't look good for me to send in my own reporters against my allies. Even if I do end up being right. So if I'm damned either way, I'd rather it be by the media. At least then we can fight back on a familiar battlefield. Now, what do you know about our problem here?
Someone is tampering with your articles on the mesh?
That's the long and short of it. My network admin is pulling their hair out over it. I'm not going to pretend I understand everything they say, but from what I understand, the changes to our articles aren't being made from inside our network.
So it's a hacker.
The versions on our servers are still the originals, but at some point after they hit the mesh, they get changed. I'm hoping that you can do some digging. Maybe hit up your contacts and get a lead on who might be doing it. Even if I have to get answers from the nightly news, it will be a big help.
What kind of changes are being made?
Mostly little things. Word choice, tone of the writing, things that make the writer appear more or less extreme on a topic. So far, almost all of the edits seem to be making our articles more positive on new technologies coming out, and more critical of organizations like the Human Revolution. That's actually what tipped us off. A harsh criticism one of my writers made about the Human Revolution protests was changed to be downright vitriolic, and I had a hell of a time putting out the fires. My writers and readers aren't exactly fans of them, but I'd rather not pick fights with the Human Revolution if I don't have to.
So, whoever's hacking hates the Human Revolution. Why are you so sure this isn't an inside job?
I guess I'm not, but my network admin assures me it's all coming from somewhere else.
This better
They
not
told
be
me that
Jess.
They tore out all of the routers that broadcast to the mesh and replaced them with fresh ones. All kinds of tricks involving IP addresses and DNS changes that I'm not going to even begin to claim to understand. I pay them big bucks, so I'm inclined to believe them unless you dig up something that tells me otherwise.
Do you have any idea on where I should start looking?
Not really. My admin says that only someone with intimate access to Parallax's network protocols could make these kind of changes as something passes across the net. Personally, I think it's a clever hacker rather than someone inside Parallax itself.
Jess.
The public trust rating of Parallax makes them look like a saint among wolves, so their control over the mesh network provisions is strangling. It's trivially easy to set up ROMs to use a different OS than LIPS or a different meshnet protocol without that trust. Or, you know, Parallax is abusing its power to spread pro-tech propaganda. Doubtful they need to. I'm sure you'll be a good journo and bring me back the right answer.
Okay, that's a start.
I know tin hat conspiracies aren't an ideal start, but it's the best we can do with the info we have. Anything else I can tell you, off the record? If you want it on the record, it'll cost you your firstborn and a really good cigar.
Can you think of any reason why you're being targeted?
Like what? There isn't much more I can tell you about Augmented Eye, really. It's a fairly simple and straightforward operation, if I say so myself. We started off in Venezuela as a sleek current events and news organization in 2055. Almost 10 years ago. We focus on more in-depth reporting of on-the-street happenings, on top of major news. We're one of the few good ones left. Once folks in other cities saw the type of reporting we do, they all clamored for it. They invested in the right places, and it paid off. COS-IO Corp is happy to have us here in the OSF. It wasn't until hybrid tech started hitting the public sphere that we had to make any changes to our model. All of that said, I can't see why anyone would target us. Unless they're just trying to embroil us in a mudslinging match with the human revolution, and there are much more direct ways of making that happen.
Right. Know if anyone else has articles being manipulated?
Alright, look. I wasn't going to tell you this. If it gets out, I'd have to answer some really hard questions. So, you didn't hear this from me. You might want to go check out TMI Entertainment and Charlie Nova. That's all I'll say.
Why
And
does
remember,
that name sound
take
familiar?
a bite out of him with my name as your defense, I drop you fast.
What's the real reason you're bringing in outside help? Your own journalist should be able to handle digging up some dirt on a hacker.
What? Not wanting to answer prying questions from my coalition board isn't a good enough reason? 'Cause I'd really like to avoid that. And look, you've covered culture wars, right? My journalists are good, but they're mostly good at gadget reviews, implant releases, not taking too many stims so they remember what they did at raves for the after-party reports. This needs an investigative journalist with serious contacts, not tech personalities. The fact that my network admin recommended you to me means you probably know the right people. Now, does that cover it? I'd like to remove my nose from your ass.
That's it for now. I'll get back to you if I have more questions.
No, don't bother. In hindsight, I probably should have been a bit more circumspect about speaking to you. Plausible deniability and all that. I won't ask you to lie in anything you write, but do remember you got in contact with me not even secondhand, but third-hand. I certainly didn't sick you on anyone. Wink wink, nudge nudge, or whatever.
Wink wink, nudge nudge.
If you need anything else, have your person get with my person. Don't come here directly. Now, I'd show you the door, but you know the way. And this isn't the only fire I'm trying to put out. Good luck, and goodbye.
Well then.
Well, that was more confrontational than I'd have expected, considering she was the one needing help. She never brought you that hassy either.
I know, right?
Is it always like this?
She knows the game, but we didn't walk away with nothing.
Very true. I will admit that I am interested in the possibility of a link back to Parallax. If all of this really is due to somebody manipulating the mesh net on the inside, it may give us the leverage we need to find out what happened to Hayden once and for all. That said, I will take care not to get my hopes up. We should make no assumptions when investigating, lest we lead ourselves down a false path. Anyway, seems like our next step is... What the...
Did she just jump? Catch her!
What the... That's Zin!
We need to go help her.
It's too late. Considering the angle and height of the fall, rendering suitable aid is beyond our capabilities now. Your desire is laudable, but emergency services are already on the way. They will assist her as much as they can. We should head back to her office and see if we can determine what happened here. Perhaps we can still dispense justice. This is how we dispense justice, right?
No delay.
It looks like the desk has been cleared off. Let's take a look around, but be careful not to disturb any evidence. The police will be here soon.
Bland office painting. The monitor is gone.
Even a ROM like that doesn't deserve an end like this.
Don't touch it. It's still evidence, and there's no putting it back together. The flawless foliage has fallen. Can't fix it, no use trying. It's the big greenhouse in the sky.
Her personal computer is not password protected at the moment. Give me a moment to look through her files. Best to keep your fingerprints off of the keyboard. Most of this isn't very interesting. Committee reports, financials, article submissions. Oh, here we go.
What you get?
According to this email between Zin and her network admin, her lead on TMI Entertainment is a little more solid than she led us to believe. The admin ran a web crawler looking for changes in writing styles. Some blog posts by their head anchor Charlie Nova stood out like a sore thumb. Apparently he's a bit pompous, if in an affable way, and his blog usually just details his day-to-day life. But ever since the human revolution has been in town, he's been smearing them with more venom than you'd expect, considering how neutral his on-air reporting has been. Zin seemed to think he was just complaining about the protesters fouling up traffic, and whoever is manipulating these posts spun it to make him look critical of the movement as a whole. Just like the Augmented Eye journalist.
That's where I know the name. He was in that newspaper.
Charlie fellow is the one we need to talk to.
Pour milk on the poster.
A bit irregular for a tasteful splatter style evocative of Pollock, wouldn't you say?
The painting doesn't speak to you, so you don't speak either. Even stealing a boring office painting counts as art theft, you know. There's no sound, but you swear you can hear the dull monotone from an art museum's audio track. Out your ID photo in artistic quality by just a hair.
My thermal sensors only detect a single set of lingering footprints, and they end almost 3 feet away from the window. Considering the density of this glass, I can't imagine Zin jumped from that far and managed to throw herself through the pane without help. But who could have done it? I don't see any obvious marks on the floor or any other thermal hotspots.
You're saying no one else was in here?
It doesn't look like it. We should go. There isn't anything else here, and the police are almost on the scene.
Son of a... I should have figured the two of you would be here. You just won't stay out of trouble no matter what I say, will you?
Hey! This is a total misunderstanding.
I assure you, Detective Rivers, we are merely in the wrong place at the wrong time. We had an appointment with Zin to discuss a possible lead and found her office in this state of disrepair.
Of course you did. Damn it. Fine, fine. Get the hell out of here before anyone else shows up. We'll chat about the case more when I'm not busy scraping bodies off the pavement. You hear me?
Certainly, Detective Rivers. I'll forward you a report of what we know immediately, and we can speak further at a later time.
Yeah, whatever.
I didn't realize I was actually on a time limit.
Ooh.
Why did you lie to Lexi? We could have told her about the articles.
Because it's better this way. We are chasing smoke trails. You think she would assist such an unlikely investigation? I do not need you to infer upon my motivations or highlight my duplicity.
Sorry.
Detective Rivers has every bit of information that Zin gave us on that computer. Her investigation will not be hampered by our absence, whereas ours is halted if we're stuck giving answers she can just as well get from a hard drive. Literally. Has it occurred to you that whoever threw Zin out of that window could be after the same thing we are, except to silence the story rather than to get it out?
Touché.
We have little time for fooling about and must get to Charlie Nova before something happens to him too. Now, unless you have further recriminations to level at me, we must not squander the time my dishonesty bought us. I have highlighted the main Neo-SF offices for TMI Entertainment on your map. Let's go!
Okay.
I hope some pity for me still remains, considering my recent tone, because I'm honestly not sure where we should start. I suppose we should just ask the receptionist to point us to somebody who can answer our questions.
How about...
Honestly, you do have your own mesh access, yes? I'm quite certain you can handle all the casual searches you might feel like making.
Jeez!
We hardly have time for me to blather out every bit of exposition you desire when you could just go look it up on your own.
You just do a good job of making it concise.
Fair enough. If you think it will save time, I can continue to rattle off these facts when you ask for them. I just ask that you keep your queries to a minimum. We don't have a whole lot of time. Let me pull up the information you requested.
What do you know about Charlie Nova?
Charlie Nova is TMI Entertainment's most popular TV personality. He's gotten consistently high ratings for almost a decade and isn't afraid to tell you about it. The chatter on the mesh paints him as a bit arrogant, but in that loud, backslapping kind of way that a media star can get away with. He's best known for hosting Star in the Stratosphere. It's one of those talent-seeking reality programs. Apparently, when TMI can't organically discover enough celebrities, they just manufacture them. Oh, and also, according to this blog, Charlie's hair is flawless.
What can you tell me about TMI Entertainment?
TMI Entertainment is a relatively popular celebrity and gossip news conglomerate. They own OK Today. They did a good job transitioning from the traditional media models of television and news to the net-based model prevalent now, pioneered by their digital newspaper, OK Today's The Scanline. Some might call their programs rags, but opinion on the mesh seems more favorable than not. They stick to mostly good-natured prying and lean away from the seedier nastiness that paparazzi can get up to. As such, they have a positive relationship with many celebrities and regularly get exclusive scoops that keep their ratings up, despite their refusal to peddle in the darker side of the celebrity news circuit.
Got it. For TMI Entertainment, basically. The sign is full of itself and won't talk to you unless you're a celebrity. Pour milk on the door. That's your ID card, not an employee badge. Pour milk on the plant. Can't. The plant in the corner is supported by a few stakes that are stuck in the middle of the planter. Talk to it.
This plant is clearly young. You should encourage it.
So I will. Stay in school. Eat your greens. Touch it.
We can't take it. It's too young to go through that much change.
Look at the table. Small industrial end table. Cute color. Buzzer. Pour milk on the receptionist.
We have our own milk here. It's good. And coffee.
Zap her. How could you? She's kind and a hybrid.
Oh, that's your name? I'm Nina.
Hi, Nina. Touch her.
I know you're used to computers being your only coworkers, but with humans, you only have to speak to them if you want them to do something.
Welcome to TMI Entertainment Incorporated. Do you have an appointment?
We need to speak with Charlie Nova.
I really can't let you in without an appointment. I can maybe pencil you in for next Wednesday?
We don't have time for this. People's lives are on the line here, and all you care about is an appointment?
Whoa.
Look, if it's that important...
Yeah, they're right.
I can buzz you through to sympathy. But she isn't going to be very happy about being bothered off schedule, so don't get your hopes up. And, try not to make her too mad. I'll be the one dealing with the fallout.
Right, of course. I apologize. We will be as tactful as possible, I assure you.
Okay, she's over on the other side of the room. Head straight there, because she doesn't like it when people bother the talent.
Pour milk? Nope. That kind of would be painful if combined with these headphones. Talk to it. You get the feeling it would just cut you off with an annoying buzz.
Oh, go right on through.
No, I want to do stuff with the door. Ah, crap. Go back in. Pour milk on the door. Nope. Ah! Talk to the door. You can't open it with your hand, so you try commanding it open?
Oh, go right on.
Okay. News ROM. Milk it. Spoiled milk isn't bad enough to be newsworthy yet, but it's close. Zap it. Don't zap the news ROM, it might forget its scoops. Talk to it. News ROM doesn't care to take comment from an unaffiliated freelancer. Don't pick it up while it's working. Milk him! Is that ours? Yikes! Good thing I passed on coffee this morning. Zap him. You shouldn't zap the crew. Talk to him. What's up? Have you been tuning into the show? Headphones. GX specifically said these headphones weren't ideal for heavy-duty production work. You said the same in your own review. They aren't recording. You'll get your 15 minutes another day. Touch it. You aren't in the right union to operate these. Milk them.
Probably not for me, buddy. But you go ahead.
Zap them.
Nice. Your ID looks a lot like mine.
Don't zap the camera guy. People will think there's an earthquake.
Hey, you. Over here, now. What are you doing, bothering? Thought I told Nina to cancel all my appointments for the day. I swear, that girl couldn't find her ears if I taped them over her eyes. At least she makes a decent cup of coffee.
Are you Sympathy? Nina said we should speak to you.
Yes, I am. And if you don't mind, I keep the show running here, so I'll be brief. What are you doing in my building?
We've been given a lead on a story that involves one of your personalities, Charlie Nova. Someone has been manipulating his articles on the meshnet and turning them into scathing attacks against the human revolution. We are trying to track the culprit, and we need to talk to Mr. Nova to hunt down further leads.
You let your ROM do all the talking for you? Must be one of those new interrogation modules all the fresh... Of course I know someone's been modifying Charlie's articles. I'm tracking them down myself. What I want to know is why I should help you snatch the scoop out from underneath me. Super hacker twists meshnet news for personal political vendetta? The clicks basically farm themselves.
Say that to Zin.
Zin? Augmented eyes Zin? What does Zin have to do with this?
She's the one who gave us the lead to begin with. Then, someone threw her out of her office window. We figured Mr. Nova might be next, and we wanted to get to him first.
Holy shit. Fine, I'll let you talk to Charlie. If someone is trying to kill people over this, I'd rather it be out and done with as fast as possible. I mean, shit, we're an entertainment scene. Nobody should die for that. But hey, watch yourself with Charlie. He's a pompous clown, but he's my pompous clown.
You got it.
Keep it civil, or I'll throw your ass out and figure this out on my own. Now get on it. I need to make some calls.
I'm guessing, yep, you must be Charlie Nova. Here, have some milk.
Some kind of weird mixer?
Zap him.
We're not allowed to drink until...
Don't attack the famous TV personality. Touch him.
Fantastic! How fantastic! I just love your ROM. Not quite as stunning as mine, but still pretty grand.
This guy reminds me of, Red White of Blue
Very
Corp.
sleek, very clean.
From Ace Attorney.
Bravo. Oh, Sympathy is doing that thing where she waves at me to hurry things up. Right down to brass tacks then, I suppose. Wait! I forgot to introduce myself. I'm Charlie Nova, host of Tonight in the Stars and Star in the Stratosphere. But you already knew that, I'm sure.
Yep.
What can I do for you, hmm?
What the? Why don't you tell me about a little bit about yourself?
You flatter me. Yes, you do. I can't imagine you've come all this way just to get my story, have you? After all, I've already published my very own splendid 100% original autobiography, Like a Nova.
Taking the title.
But I suppose I can give you a quick rundown, even if sympathy is giving me the stink eye. I grew up here on the mean streets of Neo-SF, but my jocular nature and striking countenance got me scouted for a few small product advertisements. And the rest is not so ancient history. Now I'm the host of the largest celebrity news show on the Mesh, and I couldn't be happier. It's all thanks to my swarms of fans, though. They're the ones who count.
What can you tell me about TMI?
Yes, any additional information on your station would be greatly appreciated.
Well, it's the best damn network on the planet, I can tell you that. We put out top-notch news and entertainment, but with real heart that our competitors just can't match. But if you really want to know about TMI, you need to know about Sympathy. It's her pride and joy, after all. Sure, she can be a little acerbic, and sure, she calls me a poofy-haired oaf all the time, but you can really tell she
And pompous
cares,
clown.
Deep down. I'm not sure if that throat-cutting gesture she's making is a signal to move to another topic or a threat against my physical well-being. So, let's move on. What next?
Have you heard that your stories are getting altered once they get posted to the Mesh?
Oh, it may have come up in the last lunch meeting we had, but Sympathy assured me that it was some kind of technical glitch, and our support people were on top of it.
And that people are getting killed over it?
They're top-notch, the absolute best money can buy. So I don't think there's anything more to say on the subject.
We've heard of other people's posts getting altered too.
That's very upsetting. I hope you've passed along that information to Sympathy. I'm certain our tech people will be able to find the culprit in short order once they know enough about it. I really don't know what I have to do with it, though.
Chuck, I'm sure you're better informed than that, right? You're at the top of this heap, yeah?
It's Charlie. And of course, I'm the leading man around here. Who has said otherwise? I'm not quite certain what you think it is that I don't know, but I assure you that I know what it is. You won't be able to trip me up that easily.
Someone has already ended up in the hospital over this, Chip.
It's Charlie. And Sympathy never mentioned that. But still, she said the tech guys are on top of it, and I'm gonna have to go with her on this. I'm not scared of some boogeyman. This isn't the first time I've dealt with something like this. Security has to throw out obsessed fans all the time. I'm made of sterner stuff than you think.
Zin was thrown out of her office window over this.
It's Charlie, damn it! And wait, what?
Yeah, someone murdered Zin.
What on earth? Okay. I'll tell you what I know. I didn't realize how serious this had gotten. But I'm always glad to play the hero.
Yeah, sure.
Thank you, Turi.
Unfortunately, I really only have conjecture to offer you. Trust me, I'd love to lay down some earth-shattering pronouncement and dazzle you with my investigative skills, but all I've got is flimsy threads at best. The thing is, all this stuff with my stories, stuff getting changed, making me look like I don't like the human revolution or whatever, it started after I had an upgrade made to my VR uplink hardware.
What kind of upgrade?
The technically legal kind.
Technically legal.
Look, I like to have a good time at a party, right? But sympathy keeps hammering on me for pounding back too much crash and whatnot. Nothing illegal, but she says it makes me look like shit on camera the next day. So I went to this guy I know, good guy, everyone uses him. He's called Nanya.
As in Nanya
he does
business?
Great work. After just one simple back alley brain surgery, bing bang boom. I can use an app to make my VR uplink have the same effect on my brain that the stims do, without all the nasty physical side effects. It could be a coincidence, though. The tech guys didn't find anything wrong with my uplink, and they say the modifications check out. But that Nanya guy does a lot of work for media people around here, so if a bunch of posts are getting changed, maybe that's your weak link. Anyway, that's it. Pretty flimsy, but I'll send you the address and you can go talk to him.
Yeah, why don't you?
If he'll even see you, that is.
Oh, we'll make him see us. Thanks for the help.
Oh, it was no problem. No problem at all. I'm quite happy to assist in any way I can. Just make sure you source me in your article, right? Maybe run a rough draft past me and I'll give you some quotes. I'm certain that'll help signal boost the story all the way to the stratosphere. Give it the old Charlie Nova bump. Anyhow, I really have to get back to work. You wouldn't believe how long it takes to put all this together before a show. Let me know how it goes with the murderous hacker thing. My ROM will call your ROM.
Talk to Sympathy.
I film for my friends. You'll get very little of me.
Give her the spoiled milk. She takes a minuscule glance at what you shove at her and decides it's not worth her energy in an instant. Zap her. Don't attack Sympathy. She makes the TV happen. They can't give the milk producer free advertising. Zap them. Don't zap June Valmarana. Though charismatic, Fairlight probably wouldn't thrive as a news reporter. Look, it's June Valmarana from OK Today. 2 cameras have been set up to cover the main news desk. Milk 'em. It would be cruel irony to perform a newsworthy act of industry sabotage on the only cameras in the building that could report on it. Let's just say there's a reason you're in print media. If a live broadcast were shooting right now, you'd be in big trouble for moving it. Till then, hopefully nobody will notice the frame is zoomed in way too close. A few work-in-progress versions of the next show's graphics are being tested on the monitors. Careful what inanimate objects you try talking to, or you could be in the next headline. Goodbye, Nina.
Oh, go right on through.
I don't want to go through, I just came back! Alright, so next time we'll go, to Nanya's and talk to Nanya. We haven't really been able to use the brick.
Why don't I get a turn carrying the electro laser pistol or something?
Fine. Have it. You should have point the zapper at Turing. But he asked for it.
Put that away! Let's keep it the path we're on. Or I could play some breezy ocean sound effects.
But, can I brick? Nope. That's going to be it for this episode. Next time, we'll go talk to Nanya. And as always, play on and play hard and have fun with it. Because if you're not having fun, why are you playing? Take care.